Hello, Shalom Aleichem. Welcome back to another installment in this series, Verse Words. This week's Parsha is Parshat Vayeishev. That can be found in your Bibles from Genesis 37:1 through chapter 40, verse 23. If you found this series to be useful to you, I wish you'd consider subscribing to this channel. Click the bell icon to receive updates. If this project or any of my other projects benefit you, I wish you would consider becoming a patron over on Patreon or potentially making a small donation via PayPal. Additionally, I have prepared Quizlet sets. These are online flashcards that you can, for these words, that you can view on your phones or on your desktop. To view those flashcards, just follow the link below in the details. Okay, let's get going. Parshat Vayeishev. Okay, the first verse, Genesis 37:2. Eila toldo Yaakov. Yosef ben Sheva Esra, Shana haya roya et achav batzon, V'hu na'ar et b'nei Bilha ve'et b'nei Zilpa neshei aviv v'yavei Yosef et dibatam ra'a el avim. One more time, it's a long verse. Eila told Yaakov, Yosef ben Sheva Esre Shana haya ro'eh et Achav batzon v'hu na'ar et b'nei Bilha ve'et b'nei Zilpa neshei aviv v'yavei Yosef et dibatam ra'a el avihem. Eila toldot Yaakov. These are the generations of Jacob, of Yaakov. Yosef. It immediately goes into the Joseph story. It sort of does not continue the genealogical explanation of the sons of Yaakov. It says, Joseph ben Sheva Esra Shana. Joseph was 17 years of age. He was a young man. Hayeroeh et Achav. He was a roeh, a shepherd, et Achav. So this is a interesting usage of et. This is the lesser usage of et, where et means with. So he was a roeh with his brothers, batzon, in the flock. As a homiletic reading, it says, and this could be the meaning of the author to purposely use a vague term here. Et here, as you probably are aware, is the direct object article that shows that this is a direct object. So we could read this as a ro'eh, see this as a participle form verb, and the direct object of this verb then would be achav, his brothers. So you could either read it as with or as a signifier of a direct object. With is the more standard reading, and we want to read this as not as a verb per se, but as a noun. Okay, roeh et achav. He was a roeh, a shepherd with his brothers. Again, or homiletically, we could say he was a shepherd of his brothers. He was watching his brothers. That seems to make sense with the rest of the sentence. However, the use of et in this sentence seems to be pretty consistently to mean with. So, roeh et achav, batzon, he was a shepherd with his brothers, with the flock. V'hu na'ar, he was a young man. Et b'nei Bilha, so here's et again. This seems to mean with rather. V'hu na'ar et b'nei Bilha, he was a young man with the children of the sons of Bilha. Ve'et b'nei Zilpa, and with the sons of Zilpa. Neshei Aviv, the wives of his father. So these Bilhah and Zilpah we see here get upgrades. They're no longer concubines, Pelukshim. They get upgrades to be called wives. The Vayeishev, and Yosef brought et dibatam, their reports, their bad reports, el avihem, to their father. He was tattletelling on what his brothers were up to. Okay, so the word here is ro'eh. Ro'eh means shepherd. Okay, 2, shorter verse, Genesis 37:19. It says, V'yomru ish el achiv, hine bal hachalomot halazeh ba. One more time. V'yomru ish el achiv, hine bal hachalomot halazeh ba. V'yomru, and they said, Ish el achiv, each man to his brother, hine, behold, bal hachalomot halazeh, this master of dreams, or this dreamer, bo, comes. He's coming. Okay, the word here is bal hachalomot. It's really a phrase. It means master of dreams, or it just could mean dreamer. Master, there's other ways to say dreamer, so master of dreams is probably more what it means, and they're being sort of smart alecky in saying it this way. Okay, 3, Genesis 37:25, another longish verse. Vayeishev le'echol lechem, v'yisu'u adnehem, v'yiru, v'hine orchat Yishmaelim ba'a Megilad, ugmalehem nosim nachot, utzri velot, holchim laharid mitzrayma. One more time. Yeshvu le'echol lechem, v'yisu'u einayim, v'yiru, v'hine archot Yishmaelim ba'a Megilad, ugmalehem nasim nachot, utzri velot, holchim laharid mitzrayma. Vayeishev, and they sat down, le'echol lechem, to eat bread. V'yisu einayim, they lifted up their eyes, they looked up. V'yiru, and they saw. V'hine, and behold, orchot Yishmaelim, there was a caravan of Ishmaelites, ba'a, coming, Megilad, from Gilad. Ukmalehem nosom, and their camels were loaded down. They were loaded with nachot, utzri, velot. So there's all kinds of discussion as to what the cargo the camels were carrying was. Nachot is typically translated as spices. Utzri is typically translated as balsam. Velot, translations are all over the place. A lot of the translations want to translate this as lotus. Holchim, they were going, lohorit, to go down, Mitzrayma, toward Mitzrayim. They're carrying their wares to sell down towards Mitzrayim. Okay, the word here is lechem. Lechem means bread. It can also mean food generically. Okay, 4, Genesis 38:21. V'yishal et anshe makoma lemor. Aya hakadesha hi be'enaim al haderech. V'yomru lo hayta bazeh kadesha. One more time. V'yishal et anshe makoma. And he asked, lemor, saying, Aya hakadesha hi be'enaim al haderech. V'yomru lo hayta bazeh kadesha. Okay, now we translate. V'yishal et anshe makoma, and he inquired of the people of her place, lemor, saying, Aya Kadesha, where is that prostitute? Be'enaim al haderech, on the crossroads by the way. Yeah. V'yomer, and they responded, Lo hayta bazeh kadesha. There's not in this a kadesha. In other words, there's not a prostitute here. The word here is kadesha, prostitute. There's other words for prostitute in the Bible, zona. This word is particularly interesting because it has the root kuf dalet shin, which is usually signifies something being holy. So there's a couple different possibilities. One possibility that seems to have corollary evidence from the pagan religions in the Levant at the time was the institution of the temple prostitute. The temple prostitute was a young lady whose father gave her to the temple for a short time during her life, and she was to serve as a prostitute for the temple, for the pagan temple, and the funds from her activity were to sustain whatever cultic practices were done in that temple, to pay for things. Okay, that's one possibility. Another possibility, which might be fanciful, but we still see the practice done today throughout the Middle East, is a kadesha. Also, whenever we betroth somebody in the wedding ceremony, we say Hare at mikudeshet li. Behold, you are sanctified to me. A man says that to a woman. It's the Jewish equivalent of I thee wed. So that term, to sanctify, has connotations of of simplifying that we only have a relationship with each other. But in certain places in the Middle East, the institution still exists today to have temporary marriage where you could, of course, sexual relations outside of marriage is not allowed. So the way around it in these places is they create temporary marriages, some of them lasting just a matter of a few hours. Their activity going on in those relationships under those legal schemes is not deemed to be prostitution. It's deemed to be actual marriage. Of course, we understand that this is just a long way around to get out of calling something what it is. This is prostitution. So Kadesha, it's interesting. We have a couple ways of viewing it, but the most basic way to translate it would be prostitute. A little, again, paradoxic that it comes from the word, the root signifying something that is holy. Pretty interesting. Okay, 5. Genesis 39:13. V'yihi kirota ki azav bigdo b'yada v'yanas hachutza. One more time. V'yihi kirota ki azav bigdo b'yada v'yanas hachutza. V'yihi, and it was kirota, when he saw her, ki azav bigdo b'yada, that he had left his garment in her hand, b'yada, in her hand, v'yanas hachutza, and he fled outside. He left immediately. Okay, beged is the base word. Bigdo is the possessed form, his garment. A beged is a garment, generically. 6. Genesis 40, verse 2. V'yiksof paro al shnei surisav al sar ha-mashkim ve'al sar ha-ofim. One more time. V'yiksof paro al shnei surisav al sar ha-mashkim Ve'al sar ha'ofim. V'yigzov Paro. Paro was enraged. Al shnei sirisav, on his two courtiers. Al sar ha'mashkim, on the chief of the wines. Sometimes he's called the cupbearer. This phrase sar ha'mashkim just means the chief over the drinks. So this would be something like the chief cellarer, or the keeper of the cellar, or something like that. Making sure that Paro always has good things to drink. Ve'al sar ha'ofim, and on the chief of the bakers. Paro, king of Egypt, became angry with these guys. Okay, the word here is sar. Sar means chief. It can mean prince, it can mean a lot of things. Here it has the connotation of chief. Okay, 7. Genesis 40:18. V'ya'an Yosef v'yomer ze pitrono sheloshet hasalim sheloshet yomim hem. One more time. V'ya'an Yosef v'yomer ze pitrono shloshet hasalim shloshet yomim hem. V'ya'an Yosef, and Joseph answered, v'yomer, and he said, ze pitrono, this is its interpretation, meaning the dream's interpretation. Shloshet hasalim, the 3 baskets. Shloshet yomim hem, they are 3 days. Okay, the word here is pitron, interpretation. Pitrono, its interpretation, meaning the dream's interpretation. I always felt sorry for the chief baker. He always seemed so happy to hear the Sarah Mashkim's interpretation. So he thought certainly he's going to have a good interpretation, and it turns out he has a pretty rotten interpretation. I always felt bad for him. Okay, the word here is Petron. Okay, that was 7 words, 7 verses. I hope that was beneficial. Again, I urge you to go look at the Quizlet set, the flashcard set. Follow the links in the details below for that. Okay, I wish you the best. Kol Tov, Hatzlacha Rabba. Keep learning.